Don't do it.
Don't do it. No!
No.
No! No! You're listening to another episode, aren't you? Aren't you? Come out of the room. I know you're listening to another episode. Welcome to Hive Scum, the podcast for the beautiful 28 community. We're back, baby.
My mic is soaked. Hold on.
Did you miss us? Did you miss us? Did you miss us? Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Feels like we have not recorded in mad long.
It's because we haven't.
Was convinced for a second there that I missed a week, and then I was like, they'll be all right.
No one said anything.
I said, they'll be all right.
No.
Yeah, anyways, I'm Terry. You can find my blog below.
I'm Steve. You can, I don't know, you look me up.
Go out your door, yell, Steve!
He'll be there. He's like a superhero.
Yeah.
And I'm Gage at No Clear Coat. You can't do that for me, but you can look up No Clear Coat on whatever you want.
On anything.
Anything, ever.
Everything.
Dude, what do you think
Everything.
happens when someone Googles
They get cool results.
Facts.
Yeah.
Cool facts about me.
Cool facts.
I bet you get bad AI generated. Dude, the AI, we never even talked about this, but when you Google like Hive Scum, it's just like the worst.
and it's wrong every time?
Gemini.
Dude!
That's me.
Oh, who's that guy?
We'll never know.
Yeah. There's no way to message him.
There's
He
no
got
way to message
married.
me. What?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
He loves working out. He's riding a camel.
You.
He's a camel
what?
guy.
Oh, this is probably that kid that I pay on Venmo. I send him $1 every now and then. I'm just like, hey man, we got the same name.
That is cool. Does he ever send you anything back? Does he ever acknowledge it?
He's never acknowledged it at all. I've sent him at least $6.
That's like my Venmo thing.
No, your Venmo thing's way crazy.
It happened the other day again.
Again?
And I'm just going to not open the app
Was it a lot of
anymore.
money this time?
Yeah, it was a fair amount of money.
How much?
It's like $80 or something. I can check.
God.
And it's like always like I feel like I'm getting scammed, and so I just try and like not
Dude,
pay attention.
You know what
to
you
it.
should do? You should send it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would actually.
I'll
cover
make
my,
sure it's not a scam.
I just can't even do it. Anyways,
when I buy food with it, I'll let you know if it was a scam or not.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, how could it possibly be a scam at this point? It's like somebody's.
I don't think you can scam someone by sending them money.
They sent me $143.
It's the same scam that they were trying to do to your
That's what I mean.
site.
This is okay. So this is what I'm talking about.
On my website, though, you can't.
Yes.
You can't do that with Venmo, though.
You're-
Once the money is sent, it is sent.
Well, because then they're expecting him to feel bad, so they send the money back.
Oh, well, that's different.
Oh, here's
So it's
all
money
of the
laundering.
collective
Yeah.
money that you sent to me because there's no way for me to like reverse the money. So this is what my brain goes to like. I've messaged this person. I've been like, stop sending money. SOS. SOS, wrong person. And when it's small enough, I will send them the money back because it's like, well, then if I get turned around,
No.
then it's like I'll only be out like, let's say 50. Let's say they send me $25. I'll send $25 back. Because my thing is like, oh shit, what if they're like, oh, I sent this person all this money after I eventually send it back to them? Like, what if they're playing the long con and I send them this money back?
They can't do anything about that.
And then they reverse it through
No.
Venmo,
They
saying like,
you-
I want
no,
to.
they can't do that.
And then they double their money.
No.
Venmo can't.
no.
You can't. Once the money is sent, it's very specific. You cannot
I don't
reverse
know.
it.
The whole thing sketches me out. And then it's like this person's not listening to me, and I'm saying, I'm not the clone you are looking for. I'm not the droid you're looking for. Who the fuck? Yeah. Obi-Wan fucking can't owe me. You know what I mean?
Obi-Wan can't owe me. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fucking full
That's
of
not
it.
how that works. all right?
Anyways, dude, I'm a little confused by the whole Venmo thing, but listener, just so you know, somebody's been
Send Terry
accidentally
money.
sending me money for a little while now, and occasionally I will get freaked out and I think it's a scam, and it might be.
I think the whole thing is maybe a scam, but it's fine from you to just spend it.
Yeah, just spend.
No, I know. Well, especially since I've told this person a million times, and their friend. Their friend sent me money, and I sent to that person, and that person said, "Oh, thank you for letting me know. I'm going to let this other person know." And then I don't know. The whole thing is strange.
That's the same thing with like the woman who has technically my email address, but spelled a little differently.
Dude, oh my
I
goodness.
think that's so funny.
We'll go into that in a second, but you go off.
No, I was going to say I still have. When we were in England, I was watching all her TikTok shop things come in, and I've messaged them. I've messaged everyone in this person's life. I know everything about them. I can steal their identity this second. I know where they work. I know where they live. I have their social. I know how many kids they have. I know everything about this person. I've messaged their church. I've messaged everyone that this person is using the wrong fucking email.
Email things are weird.
Email things are weird.
Yeah.
Because it's probably just somebody fucking it up. It's probably they entered the name wrong.
Yes.
And that's just it.
Yeah. No, it's crazy though. And like I said, I know I know the size of like clothes she wears. I know everything about this person.
Damn, you got other Gages out there that you're sending money to. There's people with
that's a funny bit that I send $1 to, and I'm like, haha, we have the same name as the caption.
When I sent you money the other day, I was secretly worried that it was going to get locked because what I put in the description.
The Peter Griffin story.
You've told that
I've
story,
told that story
right?
on the pod.
Okay, have you? I don't really remember specifics. You don't have to.
Long story short, someone paid me. No, I paid someone for buying a Griffin from an LGS. I Venmoed them for Peter Griffin. Venmo locked my account and said, "What is Peter Griffin's birthday?"
What?
And I Googled it and put in Peter Griffin's birthday, and then it flagged it as not a real thing. So I had to go to Venmo services and say, like, what the fuck? This is also over like an 8-month period of me being like, hello, I have $60 lost in the air right now, or whatever GW price is for a new Griffin model.
This is insane.
And then finally, after like 4 tickets of escalating through, and this is before the AI boom, so I'm sure it's even worse now, but through different tickets of escalating, I finally got the money back. And then I paid for dinner that night to him, Peter Not Griffin. And it's still stuck in my Venmo like 7 years later. Hey, look, I'll pull it up right now. You'll see it. I'll tell you the
What do you mean
exact
it's
date.
stuck in there?
Dude, it's still stuck. Hold on.
It won't.
Transactions. You sent $21 to Brandon, October 21st, 2022. In review, Peter Not Griffin. It's still stuck.
Dude, this shit sucks.
So to play off of this, I had to pay Gage back for some stuff from England, and it was like $500.
Oh no!
And I paid and I used the Peter Griffin's full name, which is Peter Lowenbra Griffin Sr. And nothing happened. It went through.
Yeah.
But I was concerned when I sent it, like, oh man,
fuck,
I hope that
I
doesn't
just
get
fucked this up. And there's just $500 floating around there.
The only thing I think is like when that happened, it was during the like all the news scandal of Venmo being used for like prostitutes from politicians and shit.
And you think that Peter Griffin was just like code name?
Anything anything with a name got flagged back then. Just any name at all. So I think
Weird.
I think honestly it was Peter, not Griffin.
What's Peter's first name? I wonder if they meant like Brandon. Like, what's Brandon's birthday?
Well, I'll never know. And that $21 is just stuck in the air. So.
That is insane, but not as insane as what you've been working on.
Oh, God, dude.
Yes! I did it, listeners! I did it!
That was a good one.
I turned
That was
it.
a good one. Did you actually, when I started telling the email story, was that a build-up for that?
No,
Oh,
but
okay.
at a certain point I said, that's insane. And I said, oh, I'm going to save that for later.
Damn,
I'm gonna
you got me- you got
I'm
me
gonna
good.
bag that one for later.
What have I... Dude, we haven't recorded in like 2 weeks.
I know.
So, first off, I've been playing RPGs. Finally, I'm not traveling anymore, so my old school Essentials game, getting back in the saddle of that and doing a bunch of GM prep for that. I have not gotten to play a session yet, but that took up a lot of my mental space during a lot of meetings. Played Vampire the Masquerade. Game still rocks. I played... Gatecreeper was in town a week ago, and I got to play Argatoria with Matt from Gatecreeper.
Cool. What's Argatoria?
Argatoria is a Polish War Master. I don't want to say rip.
Inspired.
Yeah, inspired 10mm game.
Nice.
I don't want to say anything drastic here.
What?
I don't want to say anything crazy. I think it's better than War Master.
Yeah, but the models are not.
I don't know.
I looked at them. I don't.
Matt is a fucking awesome painter. I will say that
His stuff is sick, but like,
yeah, Heroic Visions on Instagram. Go look at his stuff. Dude is also the best coach you could ever ask for in a game ever. He had the whole rule book in his head, and at first I was a little. We've all had that thing where they're like, I know how to play, and then in the first turn they're like, oh, is it? So I think you do this thing where you. Let's just do like this, and then by the end of it, you didn't even learn the game. You learned this person's version of the game,
which is how most games work.
Matt had everything dialed. Like he had one rule. He
plays it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, also you got to think, being in a touring band, like bringing a 2-player starter set with you. And being like, yo, who's in Connecticut? Who wants to play?
Because no one in my band is going to play with me.
who's? I think he was getting someone in Eternal to play with him, so at least he had someone to play on tour. But how sick is that? I always thought my job was cool, being able to travel and being like, who's in New York? Let's link up, whatever. But being like all over the world,
yeah.
Being like, I have all of my terrain, all of my models, everything in this like little case.
Who's in?
So sick.
I wonder how that Worcester show went.
You'll never know.
I'll never know.
No way.
It was at Ralph's, so it wasn't good.
Is Ralph's only outside shows? No, right?
No, they
do
have an inside. They have
inside.
I've only
they
been to
have a whole
Ralph's one
upstairs.
time,
Yeah.
and it was awesome.
They got good hot dogs.
Yeah.
No, I just left before the show. It was during the flea market thingamabob.
Oh, yeah.
I left also before the show.
Yeah.
It was good to see everybody though, and I was like, all right.
I left before that show.
Take
as well.
care. It's 4
I saw
o'clock in the afternoon.
I saw
see ya.
Thou there and Chained, and there was like 4 people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sick. It's also crazy because it's like, I don't know. It's like the scene as a whole, but like, you got a band that's playing in Europe to fucking 100,000 people, but they're playing Ralph's.
Who plays to 100,000 people?
Gate Creeper.
Do they?
Yeah. They're playing Download Fest.
I don't know what that is.
It's a huge fucking fest, but
I mean, that's like Chain playing
it's the same shit.
to a fucking insane crowd.
We had a long talk about it where like touring right now in the States is in such a weird spot where it's like if you're not a metalcore band or like shoegazy turnstile ripoff band right now,
It ain't happening.
it ain't happening. You ain't doing shit.
Happening.
That aside, that's my other podcast. What did I do? I've been printing a shitload for Last War Day. I'm really excited about that. I have the board sketched out this Saturday. I'm working on it with my stepdad, actually.
That's
Train
neat.
guy.
Yeah, because
Hell yes.
he's scared about going into the sculpt-a-mold part of his board now for his train
Okay, so
layout.
you're
I was like, all right, well, I got to get this board done today. It's the day that I got. That's the only day I got. So if you want to put in a 10-hour day with me, making a whole board start to finish, we're going to do it. And he was like, yes, please. So
that's sick. Hell yeah.
it's going to be sick. Dude, what? There's something other, like, what did I do?
I mean, you went to England.
I mean,
Besides
yeah,
that.
I've made a Necropolis warband for an event, I guess.
What else did
What else did I do?
What did
I do?
Vampire the Masquerade set,
What did Gage
RPGs.
do? Oh.
There we go. We got him.
I went to Baltimore as well when we got back from England.
Yeah, he went to an Orioles game, dude.
No,
Freaking let's go Birds.
I don't even know what that is. So
Shut up!
I went down to I don't know if it's officially the Union Gang Clubhouse, but I went to Tori's game room. Sickest spot. And Eric is running I believe it's just a Warhammer Fantasy campaign, but they're using War Master as parts for the bigger battles. So it's Warhammer Skirmish, which is, from my understanding, Mordheim without special weapon rules.
I believe it's 5th edition.
I think it's 6th.
6th?
Yeah.
Well, 6th Mordheim was out.
Yes.
So isn't it? I'm pretty sure Skirmish was pre-Mordheim.
Yeah. I mean, it's Mordheim.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's the same shit. They just didn't have weapon rules, but then they were playing with optional weapon rules. And I was like, well, we're just playing Mordheim now. So, from my understanding, it's Chaos kind of sieging the Empire Castle.
Okay.
and the Bretonnians are coming to help. So next to me, my brother Dan Draugr is playing the War Master game against Eric, and he has to get his cavalry into the front gates of this castle to get reinforcements for the third scenario.
Oh, so he's just get A to B.
Yes, all he has to do.
But Chaos is attempting to stop him.
Yes. So he just has to get guys through the front gate. So every guy or tray that he got through was X amount of points for the next scenario.
Oh, that's sick.
So I think they ended up Dan, I sneaked a path through, and I think they had 500 extra points for the next scenario. While that's happening, though, I'm playing against Jarrett, and I said, yeah, I'll be an NPC faction for your guys' campaign. I figured I was going to go there and just watch and just chill on the couch.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, no, there's a game. We need you. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I grab my Uncrustable. I go over. I'm playing Night Goblins against Jarrett's Empire. And our scenario is we're actually the skirmish game underneath the castle wall of the game that's happening to our left. So I'm in the undermine, and my goblins are mining under the walls to try and get into the castle.
Underground raiding party.
Dude, it was very sick of a layout. Tori kind of whipped all the terrain out. I took a bunch of pictures of his setup for how he's got terrain stored, and I definitely want to replicate it here.
Oh, hell yes.
But the scenario was just kind of kill points. Whatever you kill, that's how many points you get. Obviously, if the model's 3 points, you kill it, you get 3 points. Same
I
shit.
like that.
Yeah. I think when we did the math, I know I won, but I won by like 1 point.
Ooh,
like truly
close.
1 point. Yeah. Bouncing squigs are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
My fanatic smashed one guy to pieces and then hit a wall and blew up. Did not do anything else the rest of the game. Yeah, it was fucking sick. And then because I won, now Chaos actually have one of the... They get to start... the Empire starts with one of the walls broken.
Ooh.
So that way Chaos can kind of sneak in through that wall.
Rather than actually sieging the walls.
Yeah. So it's like, yes, they do... The Empire does start with 500 extra points or whatever it is, but at least Chaos has an entryway.
And that's like next time they play.
Yes, yeah.
So they got War Master and then Warhammer Skirmish.
Yes,
Is that what you're saying?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
just those two systems, right?
I believe so.
Okay.
I don't know what they're doing for the third scenario. I think Eric is playtesting a General's Compendium supplement. I don't think it's from General's Compendium proper. I think it was like a supplement in White Dwarf for General's Compendium, which is a supplement for Warhammer Fantasy anyway. So it's like a built on of a built on of a built on.
3 layers deep.
Yeah.
Bolt on.
And I think he is going to publish that. I think like this is the playtest for him to just put it out.
Cool.
So
Like a campaign that you can play.
yeah. And a 3 scenario campaign, I think, is like such a doable thing. It's like such a nice thing that
I think the way they're doing it is perfect.
I
Like,
think-
we
yeah.
do it over the course of a month. We don't do it in one day.
right. But like, okay, it's this Saturday. Like,
Yeah,
whoever's around can show up for Chaos.
This is kind of what I was talking about, I think, last episode, where like campaign days, but it's you do
Multiple times.
multiples.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you tell the story that way.
I think you were
rather
talking
than
about that
one day.
too.
It does kind of feel like the New England War Council is sort of moving to that.
Yes,
You know, like Andy's having City Fight Day, and you're having Last War Day.
yes.
Instead of being like, we're doing Last War campaign, play
Yeah.
when you can. Because,
I'm saying though, like if like you do Last War, and this is what Steve was saying, like okay, for May, every Saturday is Last War, and at the end of May, no more Last War. Like the campaign will be wrapped up after these Saturdays.
We have a story that is told in the month of May.
Yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
whoever is around will figure it out.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's cool to have like kind of like a sliding scale for that. It's like, okay, well, 2 Chaos players showed up today. Well,
Yep.
now the Empire guy gets to play with a double big army, or like
Yeah.
I really like the like, oh, we have 500 extra points.
yes,
So it's like, and then the scales are tipped. Like, okay, now we're fighting a losing battle.
Right,
I
right.
think we talked about this briefly. Of like,
Yeah.
did we talk about this in an episode?
definitely, because
Well,
you love asymmetrical.
I think it's very
Yeah.
cool, but I also I know myself, and I get salty too when I'm like, oh, this just fucking sucks. But when you look at it through the lens of like, well, I'm obviously meant to not.
Yeah.
win here.
This is rough.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I'm not meant to win, but if I do this small goal, it makes it really cool. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that stuff's really appealing to me.
No, I think it's. I think the part that was hard for me to figure out is the flexibility in which you can still have an asymmetrical thing, but like seeing them. Granted, it's probably something that you should just know, right? Like this is just a social construct between your friends. But like, I don't know if we're using Tori's models or Eric's models, but there was only a certain amount of night goblins.
Yeah.
So they tallied all the points up and they said, okay, Gage can only play with this amount of points. So, Jarek, do you mind cutting like 5 models from your list? That way it's fair. And he went, oh yeah. And it was like, well, yeah, duh. That's how it should be, right?
Yeah.
Rather than being like, this is a 200-point game. If you don't have it, like we can't do it. And it was like, no, it's supposed to be like orcs are fucking up this campaign, or goblins, and Empire are defending. So it doesn't really matter as long as you're telling that part of the story.
Yeah.
And then whatever happens still influences the major campaign.
I think it only matters when you show up to play and your list is made, and then it's like, oh, like when it's not easy to just, I just cut 5 guys. Like, that like can change the entire dynamics of the game that we were like coming to play.
Yeah, and I think that's also
but obviously
dependent.
They haven't figured out.
In Warhammer Skirmish, it's easy because it's per model.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. If you're playing regiments or something, I can see where that could be a huge problem.
But in Warhammer Old World, it's just like, I'll take out a row of 5 guys and that will... Because
Or
each
a
guy
guy.
is... Yeah, a guy is 8 points.
Yeah, exactly.
And I guess you could do that in regiments if you just said, okay, a unit is 200 points, there's 5 guys, okay, I'll do the math and I'll cut a guy.
Yeah. It's easy enough, but it's one of those things where it's like you can get really caught in the weeds of being like, well, I don't know, we can't really make it work because this is how it should be on paper. And it's like, at the end of the day, you're just playing toys to tell this story regardless.
Right. I mean, No Context White Dwarf, one of my favorite accounts on Instagram. I think they literally just posted about this today.
Really?
About what playing Warhammer means and how some people are like, okay, they're here to play a game to win by the rules. Or they're just like, we play strictly by the rules. This is the game I've learned and I've spent my time learning.
Right.
And there's the other side of Warhammer where it's like, we're just having fun. It's all vibes and I don't care. And how like those two things like can mesh, but they usually don't mesh because like some people's brains are just wired a certain way. And like
you could see that divide in just our group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like going to play. It's like going to play Magic at a shop where it's like, or like versus playing in like a GP or whatever. You know, it's like I don't know. Like if I'm playing against somebody, granted I haven't played in a long time, but if I was playing against somebody and it's like you misstep, mother. You know what I mean? Like this isn't fucking pre-release shit. You can't just take. There's no takesy backsies.
Right.
You cast that spell already.
Yeah.
You know, it's like sorry.
Can I take that back?
Can I take that back?
Dude, the take back counter.
I mean, that's also casual format versus regular
Playing
format.
an event.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, same shit in Warhammer. Like,
right?
I remember I played a game that won it against Ian, and I like realized that if I moved this first unit, I could just not use this other unit the whole rest of the game, and was like, "Do you mind if I take that back?" He's like, "Not at all."
Yeah.
So,
But like, I get the competitive mindset where it's just like, yeah, this is my fucking game. You fucked up.
And I want to say it's not even from the competitive side. I think it's like there's an order of operations and there's like like the chin scratcher, you know, like I think about what I'm going to do before I do it.
right.
Whereas some players are just like, no, I'll just do this. And then it's like two moves later, you're like, oh, actually, that was a really bad move. Can I take that back? And it's like, well, I guess it depends, like, the context of, like, oh, are you just going to do something that's absolutely going to devastate the game? It's like with Magic. Like, are you going to win right now because the thing you fucked up in your main phase and you're on your second after you did combat, like, and it would have made a difference of, like, winning the game versus not winning the game?
Yeah. Just timing of takebacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, timing. But it's also like, if you're just playing for fun, then fuck it.
Yeah.
And you're going to lose, like, against some guy. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like,
and that comes.
I would never be like, oh, can I take back? I don't think I would. Because if it's a fun game, it's a fun game. Oops, I fucked up. Now fucking crush these guys.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Well, and it comes back to
My
the kind of game you're playing. Like if it's like, oh, we're just telling like a fun little story of like a castle siege or like the raiding party in the woods. Like, It doesn't matter. We're just telling this little story. Like, yeah, that guy fucked up and he's gonna die now.
To that point, when I was playing Warhammer Skirmish against Jarrett, I forgot Squigs had 2 attacks. So, like, we were on round 4. And I was like, holy fuck. I was like, because we were counting the kill points. And I was like, Squigs are 20 points? I was like, dude, you crushed me. Like, and he was like, why are they 20 points? We're going through the whole profile. And I was like, oh, they have 2 attacks. He goes, oh, just roll them all right now.
That's it.
And I was like, are you sure? And he goes, yeah,
Nice.
absolutely. He goes,
You should have done them anyway.
yeah, you should have done them. It's not like it's a May type thing, you know? It's like, no, you do it. And I ended up getting a kill out of it, and he was like, cool. And that honestly probably won me the game, but it wasn't a feels bad because it was like...
They had it anyway.
They had it anyway, you know? So...
Yeah.
That being said, I definitely painted... I started painting a Space Wolf, and I hated it, and I reprimed it.
Nice. I love doing that.
And that
happens.
That's my whole hobby journey over the last 2 weeks.
Yay.
Yay.
You know, sometimes you got to just reprime over shit. You just move on.
Yeah.
Try
Just
it
move
again.
on.
Hit that undo button.
Yeah, I control Z that so fast.
Yeah.
Oh, one last thing I will say. The kill team, my Eldar kill team.
Yes.
You
found the heads?
Yes, I printed the heads. Shout out Space Elf Head 3D, I think is the account name.
That's cool.
It's the
Beautiful.
craziest account on my mini factory. They're printed. I glued them on everything. So I primed. I used the pink Liquitex that I plan on using for my Siege. Dude, that paint came out so thick.
Yeah.
I was like, holy
How far away were you standing?
fuck, dude, like 2 feet. It was
crazy.
crazy. It would just it was like when you can see the rain like in the distance that just comes down as like a wall.
I wonder if you got to do it like that, like spray up and over the guy.
I was like, oh my god, this looks like shit. It was like so spotted, and it was just like a wall of paint that just fell on the model, and I was like, oh my god. And I was like, whatever, I'll let them dry. I'll just fucking prime them over again. Who cares? It actually self-leveled. It self-leveled and shrunk, so it looks nice.
Oh, good.
But I could not tell you, dude. It made no sense to me how thick it went on, and I went, well, that's a whole kill
over.
team. I gotta just fucking strip and do again.
Sometimes like primer be like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You put it on,
yeah.
you're like, well, I think I went a little too heavy-handed with this. Then you come back 5 minutes later, you're like, guess I did it.
Good enough.
Yeah, I put it in the
Looks
house,
pretty
and I
good.
went, oh, nice.
Yeah.
So.
Sometimes it's just, you know.
So I'm actually excited for that. Trent has been bullying Steve and I about finishing our YouTube videos.
Nice.
Realistically, I just need to sit down and edit. I have everything I need for this first video. I just need time.
I have to want to paint those models.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I have them assembled. Like, they're all in a box. But
What I want so badly for that hobby project is to come up with a way to make videos that doesn't suck. You know what I mean? I want to have a standalone place. I don't mind using my phone, but I need a spot to put my phone where it's going to like sit over my hobby desk. And the gooseneck, it's just like I bump into
Dude,
it.
the
It's in my
gooseneck
fucking
sucks.
face. I'm like, this sucks so bad, dude. It's in my way. Setting it up sucks.
Well, that's why all those dudes have crazy
Right?
zoom from so far away.
And I would love to even just have like what we have for these boom mics, but it's just like up in my ceiling or some shit and like tucked
yeah.
away. And then when I go to use it, all I do is pull that down, attach the phone to it, and then start
Yes.
recording. Because like the gooseneck, there's no good way for me to put it where it is. Because then it's like I even got to put it out and fucking clamp it in a place that I think is going to work. Oh, my fucking hand's in the way. I got to move it over here. And it's just like sucks, man. I need to find a good way of doing it that doesn't suck. Or I just like go full fucking Simso miniatures and it's just like I film it with like a tin can and be like,
Well,
there's my
don't do that.
There's my hobby.
Hey, I mean, it's a representation of what you want, so.
Yeah. I don't know. I have to figure that out. But I think I'm going to do more of like Goldie and my collaborations.
Yeah?
Because they're really fun. She wants to paint models all the time now. Anytime we walk by the desk, she said, I want to paint models. And she said, I want to paint models. And I said, go put your smock on. She knows where her smock is. She goes, puts her smock on. And we usually get like one mini done. And it's like me over her shoulder being like, let's get a little bit in there. And then she'll make a mess, and then eventually her hands are all in it, and she's rubbing her hands in like the contrast paint, and I'm like, okay, that's enough.
She's dipping her mouth in the dirty down.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, that's enough. And then it's like I can just come back later, and it's like
clean it up.
Yeah, I put a little dot in the eye or whatever, and I go, okay, good enough.
Yeah.
Paint the base rim, put some flock on there, and sign out.
Yep.
So I think it'd be cool to kind of do some top-down view of like, me and my daughter just like kind of slopping on contrast paint, and like Nurgle's great for that because it's gonna look good.
I think it'll also show people. I know we've covered this a million times, but it's like it definitely will show people how not precious you have to be.
Oh, dude, and they come out good looking. You know what I mean? Like these are. I was actually in my head being like, what army do I want her to start? You know, because I'm like, at this point, she can mostly paint a model.
Goldie, make your 2,000 point list.
Yeah. And so I can crush you on the battlefield.
No take backs, Goldie.
But I'm like, okay, what minis do I want her to paint? Because I was like, maybe I want her to paint like Tyranids.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would be fun. We painted one Tyranid model, and it was just like, this crazy bright blue, bright orange, like, blended color mess. And I was like, that might work.
I feel like they lend themselves very good to like, every model can be different and like disgustingly badly painted, and it will not matter. Because it's just biomass.
The only problem is it's like it's too big. The models are too big. Like I feel like with
what models are too big?
No. Like I guess I should say the planes on the models are too big. So like. With a Nurgle, let's say it's like a Nurgle model. There's so much goop and gunk and areas where it's like, that's pustule, that's bloated mass, that's a weird tentacle. Where it's like you're painting it and it's like all of these little tiny things that can be different colors. With a Tyranid, it's like, here's the carapace at the top. It goes from the top all the way down to the bottom. Here's the underneath of it. And it's very clear that those two things should be two separate colors.
I don't know. I feel like they're all spit out of a giant fucking
It looks unfinished though, as painted like with a bunch of different colors, because it's just like the areas.
I mean, like an Imperial Guard guy, like his armor is different than his skin.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly right. So it's like and we even did this. We painted like a guy with a grenade launcher or whatever, and just to see what it would come out like, and it just looks like you kind of primed it like a weird brown blue or something, and you're like, I would need to go back in there and kind of clean up these areas. With Nurgle, it doesn't matter. Even if the guy has a face and has a head, and it's just like all comes out like brown and blue and gloopy and orange and bright pink over here or whatever, it's just like, well, it's Nurgle. Probably it's an infection or something.
Right.
Could you take the Tyranids and then just like a black dry brush over the scales like real fast, and then it's like.
And I want to try and avoid doing as much as I possibly can to them, because then it's like you fall into the trap of being like, well, I'm mostly painting this, and then which is nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But it's just like, and it's like, the other thing is I have so many Nurgle minis. 40K.
So you're saying
Nurgle. Yeah, I think that like Nurgle's probably going to be the way that I go. But listeners, this is news to you, but there'll be a second kid coming soon. And
what?
So, then I'm like, well, what army is the second kid gonna do?
Yeah.
So there's that whole thing.
You gotta start planning the home campaign,
right?
And
then Goldie will just beat me, and then I'll be like, cool, thanks, great, this is awesome. This is why I don't like playing games.
They're both just like rules lawyers.
Yeah, and they're just
Dad, you don't play right.
Whipping my ass at age like 6, and I'm just like, I hate playing games. I only want to do the hobby part now. You girls play with yourselves.
That would be the sickest family dynamic.
Oh, 2 rules lawyers with Terry as the...
Terry's kids are fucking Grand Prix crushers, and he's painting the models overnight for them.
That would be pretty cool.
That'd be fucking sick.
Dad, I need 2,000 points of Raven Guard painted by this weekend.
The meta changed last week. I need a new army.
I'm on it.
You're just bringing Raven Guard squads to school.
Yeah. This is for my daughter's competition.
It's for an art project.
Oh, no. Yeah, all you kids grab a model. We got to paint them. We got to do black, and then you're going to smudge gray on top of it. Don't forget to paint the eyes red. Oh, Johnny, that's blue. Anyway, so yeah, there's that.
Well, besides that, what else have you been doing?
I wrote it down because I always forget. First thing is, before I tell you what I've been doing,
Yes.
you know how Trent put out that video where he was shaking the bottles with the jigsaw? Trent Holbrook, Miscast Train.
Yeah.
He has the one where he's using the jigsaw. He was like, those Hopscom boys. Those Hoscom boys.
Yeah.
Is that how he sounds?
Yeah, that's exactly how he sounds.
Those Hoscom boys.
Yeah. I also like how he said that we bought those shakers.
Well, you can't tell that to the listeners.
Well,
listeners, they fell off the back of
a truck. If you look up the model that he showed on camera, do not buy that. Go to Amazon.
Yes. Buy it from your friendly local Amazon.
Yes.
So the Trent Holbrook Miscast Terrain, a video where he shakes the paint bottles with the jigsaw.
Yeah, a sawzall.
Oh, is it a sawzall? I thought you used the jigsaw.
No, it is a jigsaw.
So I was like, that's a good idea, Trent. This Trent Holbrook guy, he's on to something, I swear. And so I brought it out and I zip tied. First, I did Dirty Down. Excellent. Worked excellently. Second, I tried to use Street and Grime, and I was like, Street and Grime's not working how it's supposed to work. And I was like, I don't think I shook it enough. I haven't used this Street and Grime probably a year and a half. Put it on the fucking jigsaw. Sure enough, shit's thick as hell.
Yeah.
Shit's thick as hell.
Yeah.
And all I had to do, this guy's over there rigging up some arts and crafts. He's got the fucking metal shell over it.
Shattered his mic stand.
No. Every episode. Right. This is like a constant.
All right, I just won't touch it.
Oh my God.
You hear that, listeners? That's the creak of the stress of the table being held together by Jenga pieces.
Oh my God. All right, so Jigsaw.
Jigsaw, I didn't do any of the arts and crafts that he did where he made it like a metal casing to it and he rigged it up this way or whatever. I was like, dude, I'm gonna hit it. Oh no. Just fell apart. It's all right. I'm gonna keep going, dude.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hold this.
I just zip tied it right to the thing.
Yeah.
And it held up fine. Zip tied it tight enough.
They don't have zip ties in Australia.
I know, that's true. Tesseract Yellow.
Yeah.
That shit is unshakable. Unshakable paint. You cannot shake that shit enough. You can never shake that shit enough. It's always going to be yellow on the top, bright green on the bottom.
I was going to say, isn't it green?
Whatever it is. I mean, it's green eventually if you can shake it enough. And Goldie was like, she was like, I want this paint. And I was like, no! I was like, dude, just
come back in an hour.
You don't know. You don't even know. There is a mixing ball in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Buried down deep. I tried to fix this problem one time, kid. And I said, you know what? You wait here. I put the jigsaw in the vice grip, and then in the vice, and then she came over with like fingers in her ears, like, that's too loud. That's too loud. That's too loud. And I was like, look at how green this is. This is what it's supposed to be.
This is what you wanted.
I said, it's working. It's working. The earth is healing. So the Streak and Grime, excellent right out of the bottle after the jigsaw. Dirty Down. So my Dirty Down was dried up and crusty, cracked.
That shit
nasty,
sucks,
dude. It sucks bad.
Fuck Dirty Down, dude. I'm not afraid to say it.
That shit dried up in the bottle. I haven't used Dirty Down in probably like a year. That shit was dried up in the bottle, crusted. So I said, "Screw it, dude. I'm gonna mix some. I'm gonna mix water with this, and I'm gonna put it on the jigsaw and see what happens." I did, and it worked in a very weird way. It like bubbled up and got like kind of gross. But I was just slapping that on models. It was a lot of fun. So, anyways, yeah.
Do you want another one to fall off a truck?
No. The jigsaw is a superior thing. The jigsaw is superior to the vortex mixer.
Okay.
I will go on record saying the jigsaw is superior.
Okay.
Anyways, I've been working on other stuff. I played a game with Steve.
What?
Steve ran me through.
Oh yeah, we played Space Hulk. Well,
Not
Fake
Space Hulk.
Fake Hulk.
Yeah, we played Fake Hulk. It was fun.
What the fuck?
Yeah, we played Fake Hulk.
What the fuck, dude? You play games?
Game was awesome.
What day was that?
It
was when you were in Baltimore.
I was the only guy who played a Terminator. I didn't realize that until like halfway through the game.
I'm still shocked that Terry played a game.
I played a game.
You wanted to come chill.
Space Hulk. I read Steven's Space Hulk blog post, which you should go check out on underthedice.com.
Yes.
Correct.
And I was like,
Very good
damn,
post.
this shit is so fucking cool. I want to play this thing. So I came. We made characters. It was...
I gotta make a blog so you can play games with me?
Yes. What am I going to see it on? Instagram?
Oh my God.
He's got a good point.
Yeah, I read the blogs, man. I'm out there. I read all the blogs.
Long form content.
Yes, it's fun.
I wish I took more
nice.
photos though.
Yes, but
both
the
our
photos of our game.
our game and the one at Adepticon.
The photos are what really drew me in because I can't read. No, but so it was me and Phil. Phil played a game. Phil played this game. Shane played the game, and then you were GMing.
Yeah,
and it was really, really awesome. Shane was playing some space dwarf.
Yeah, he's playing a squat in Terminator armor.
Chaos squats, right?
And his chaos squat.
No, I said you can't play a chaos guy, so he went and got a different guy.
Nice.
Phil was some sort of Raven Guard sort of feller.
Yep.
And they both were kind of weak, and they were like dying already, and I was just this big Terminator guy with 18 points of damage, and the only one with a gun. Or no, he had a flamer. Shane had a flamer.
Yeah.
But I was just like, bam, bam, bam. It was really fun. I shot everybody.
Yeah, Shane's weapon was cool, but it only like affected stuff within 3 inches, so it would like hit a bunch of guys for 1 damage. But there just like weren't a lot of scenarios where they were lined up like that.
And I was firing down hallways at motherfuckers.
Yeah, it was
I
pretty
loved
cool.
it. It was very fun. I had a good time, and after I left, I was like, damn, that's so cool. This is like, I think that's the superior way to play. I want to play like 1 guy to 3 guys.
Yeah.
Maybe to 5 guys. You get me on a Forbidden Psalm shit, which like ever since I've been thinking about Last War, now I'm like, oh, I forgot how cool Forbidden Psalm games are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think that like I'm a max 5 guy. You can't even catch me with a kill team, I don't think anymore. I think I'm a 1, 3, 5 guy.
I'm trying to think of what's 5 models in Kill Team.
Death Watch.
Space Marines, I think, are 5 or
That's
6,
it.
maybe.
Yeah, there's 6, I think now.
Which is like whatever. I just don't really like. I want.
We got Death Watch versus Scorpions at home.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, it's a time.
It's a time.
Yeah, Death Watch are strong.
I bet.
There's a meta for a reason.
But I had a great time. It was nice playing 1 model. I was like afterwards being like, damn, I want to play Space Hulk again, but I don't want to take a Terminator. I want to take like a Everyman, John Everyman. Speaking of John Everyman, I've expanded.
Hold on.
Sorry.
I want to dig into that for a second in your little brain. What if you played a regiment style game with just 5 units?
There's nothing wrong with that, I guess, but it's just too many guys.
You think so?
What if you just based 1 guy?
What if it was like a Hobgoblin style where it's like multi-based? You only have 5 bases.
I just think the story isn't as good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
It is harder to
I
tell
like
a
seeing
story
my guy.
across like an entire army.
Yes. Oh, yeah. All I see is a big block of like glub. You know what I mean? Like dudes. I don't see like, I don't see like 1 dude in that army and go like, that's the guy.
Well,
I see the army.
I think that's where heroes are really important.
Yeah.
Like, I have my named hero that I've like cooked up his lore. He leads this army, or maybe just that 1 unit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not like you give a shit about the Uruk-hai in Lord of the Rings.
No,
You
but
give
if
a
I
shit
had
about
one
Lurtz.
Uruk-hai,
Lurtz.
You go, there's Lurtz, and he's doing a cool thing. You're not like Uruk-hai number 42,222 there. Look at his. Look, he did the Wilhelm scream. That's cool, and then you don't care.
I will say that orc that does the Wilhelm scream probably has a.
The good thing, though, about having just a few guys is you can put so much care into those just a few guys. Those just a few guys can be so cool and weird and cool.
Let's cut to 14 seconds ago where you were like, I just slap paint on, dude. And I fucking
Nothing wrong with slapping paint on, listeners. Nothing wrong with slapping paint on.
put a base on it. I don't give a shit about
You can
it.
still hold an emotional attachment to a thing you slap paint on. You don't have to be too gentle with them. You know?
Too gentle with your toys.
Yeah.
So anyway, before I cut you off, you were moving on to what you do after that.
Yes. So I've expanded the lore into my Inquisitor story,
let's
which
go.
I'm very stoked about.
The model's awesome.
Oh, yeah. So I made... So that... My Inquisitor, kind of a shut-in.
Yeah.
A renegade, hiding from the Inquisitors. In my headcanon, I'm like, I think the Inquisition probably assumes she's dead. Like, she hasn't shown up in, like, years, and so they've, like, stopped hunting her, kind of. But she, like, doesn't leave this particular planet that she's on. And so she hires all of these just, like, rogue traders and stuff. So she just has these, like, little away teams working for her all the time, like, where she just, like, pays them to go and either, like, find her stuff source materials, get books or whatever, and then she just financed that through like, she's essentially like a reseller, She finances through buying and selling stuff. And so, in my head, I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is the coolest Inquisitor ever, because now I just get to make a bunch of little other crews of guys that go do stuff. And it scratches so much of the itch of having like lore for like having one story, but then the models can be used for a lot of other stories, where it's like, oh, I can't play a Space Hulk guy, but it's like this guy, it's this guy and a couple of like servitors, and they're like running around the ship.
Yeah.
Or I'm playing Blackout, and now it's like, I don't know, these are the most kind of modern sort of sci-fi looking guys, so they're just playing. They're here on this planet now. Yeah. It's like something like that, where I can just kind of take these sci-fi duders and then slap them into different scenarios with different games.
I believe someone we know does this with like everything they've ever worked on is their homebrew faction, and they just take pieces of it for each game. Maybe Nate Dungeon or Johnny.
Oh, chime in.
I don't know.
Chime in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like that idea, and it's fun to just sort of like live in a world again. Yeah. We'll get into Brothers of Promethium in a little bit here, but like Brothers of Promethium was just like my way of gapping one-off guys that I was making.
Right.
And then it became that world. And still, like, in my head, if I need to make some Gorka Morka shit, it's going to be based on Brothers of Promethium. If I have to make anything that's like with a desert theme, it's a story happening in my head canon for Brothers of Promethium. So now this is just like another story that's happening in my head that like I can then tie in other games that I play with it.
Right.
So this planet, which I wrote down the name and forgot.
Redacted.
Name Hasaresh.
Whoa.
Yes. Hasaresh 741.
Whoa.
Yes. Not house arrest. Hasaresh.
Yeah.
So it's just this planet that was at one point by the Imperium, they tried to like set up munitoriums. I don't know what you'd call them. The fucking big factories, you know what I mean? Tried to colonize it, and then eventually just like pulled out because of all this like warp storm fuckery that was happening on the planet that they just couldn't understand. So they just said like, okay, we're out of here. And they left like 200 people on the planet. And so those 200 people, they found out that these giant bovine creatures that live on the planet that are just like 3 times the size of like buffalo and then just like run in herds around the planet, they're controlling the warp storms with their mind. They're just like all psychically linked like little like cows that are running around this planet, and the warp storms are following them. So then the now sort of like feudal people, like nomadic tribes that follow these cows around on this planet, or these like weird buffalo creatures on this planet, they've found out that they can set up certain structures in these big grasslands areas to move the animals around to then like
keep the warp storms away from,
or control the warp.
Yeah.
With like essentially these like structures that they're building to help like guide these things around.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and there's these like there's these like psychers that they have that are sort of like helping to in their head map out where things need to go, where the creatures need to run to like cause certain things to happen.
Like a migration, like a forced migration pattern or something.
Yeah,
that's sick.
And then they use it in these big like warp rituals.
Yeah.
Which is then why the Inquisitor is there in the first place. Like she's hoping to see and learn from these like kind of like feudal not feral, but these like nomadic tribesmen that are kind of on this planet left over from the Imperium.
Right.
So that's where I am at right now. It's also a good excuse because I have these sculptures that I want to make, and I feel like they would be perfect for the game board, but also good sculptures. And I'm like, oh, okay, they're just going to be the structures that these guys are making. So we'll see. So then there's that. I painted that guy, which we talked about, that rogue trader. I like him a lot. Cool. Yeah, you can see him on my blog. He was fun. I slowed down a lot when I made him. used a Delac body. I sculpted some arms on. I used a high elf head. I slapped some like little fucking, I don't know, like sensors on him and stuff. He looks very neat.
He looks very sick. And I think Tyler nailed it perfectly in our group chat where he's like, because he's like, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, on his soapbox. But he's like, truly, he's like, we talked about this the whole way back from Adepticon, it felt like, but bashing with like so much more intent and purpose, where it's like, okay, like you specifically put the eye on that guy, and then you actually like used multiple things to make this eye for this guy. It wasn't just like slap a bit on whatever, you know. It's like you can get away with that, but putting so much more thought into the bash itself, I think, is like so much more important. And like the next wave of like people that have been in this hobby for this point now, it's like, okay, you've done your arm swaps, you've done your head swaps, and now it's like, okay, how can we make more art like that where you're really bashing with intent?
Yeah, and it's fun that I have this like direction, which is this kind of lore that I'm building, where it's like, okay, this guy isn't just a one-off guy.
Yeah.
He now lives in this canon. Where it's like before when you're bashing, you're just like, this guy looks cool. Yeah. Which is nothing wrong with that. I love just bashing up a cool guy. But now I have this like extra layer of like, okay, how does this fit into the world that I've made though?
Well, also like you use a certain bit for that guy. And you're like, oh, fuck, now I'm going to use this bit as like a marker for other guys.
Yeah, like maybe they're somehow connected.
And that makes it more cohesive.
The high elf hat, you know, or whatever. I made a servitor too to go along with that, and then I finished fucking grad school class, which is a
yippee
headache, but I'm done with that, and so that was mainly what I've done. And I had an art show, but I think I talked about that.
That's a lot of things.
That's a lot of things.
Yes, it was enough things. How about that?
How'd the art show go?
Good. Still up. You know what I mean?
Is it?
Yeah, it's up until May 23rd.
Oh, shit.
Yes, or something like that.
I'm going to hit that tomorrow.
Yeah, go on. Well, it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The gallery's open, but you're going to hit it whenever you have a time. No worries.
Saturday.
Yeah. Anyway, Steve, what you been up to?
I wrote it down.
I love writing stuff down.
I've been... Well, we went to England. I made a warband for that. Since coming home, I've been painting dwarves. I've been painting a lot of dwarves.
And it started off for that challenge, right? There was like some...
I'm still doing
called
it.
again?
The Crown of Command.
Call of the Crown.
Call of the Crown
by
challenge.
the Crown of Command podcast, which I don't really listen to. I'll like listen to their stuff on YouTube sometimes.
Yeah, I like his videos.
Yeah.
Who am I playing footsies with?
That's me.
Oh, hey.
Which I missed... I think I missed April? Did I miss April, or did I do my dwarves for that? My
no, I think you did your guys.
So I missed. Maybe
I don't think you missed shit.
Yeah, I don't think I missed anything.
Well, just because we were gone for so long, it felt like I missed it.
Trust me, I felt like I missed the world.
I don't think I'm going to finish the unit that I wanted to in time because it takes a very long time to paint these dwarves. Like far longer than I was anticipating it to paint. But I think it's because I'm block painting them.
Okay, yeah,
and it's. Usually I lose my mind block painting, but
like batch painting them?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's been very easy to do with them because they're not all the same model.
Yeah.
Which is a good and a bad thing. So I'm not getting bored doing it in batches, but I am missing things. So I'll okay, I'm going to do all the bronze and copper right now. Okay, I did it all. And then I'll go, all right, well, now I'm going to do the second step and the third step and the fourth step. Get all the bronze done. And now I'm going to move to leather. So I'm going to start doing all the browns for the leather. Oh, I missed that piece of copper. Oh, I missed that piece of bronze. Oh, I missed that. Now I have to go back and do that whole step all over again.
Yes.
So it's taking way longer than I want it to. So I've started just like, okay, this one guy, I'm now going to paint him to completion. And that's where I've been, which is good because now there's not a ton of steps to do for each guy. Because I did all the skin I did at once, all the metals I did at once, and then mostly I got everything. But so it's been nice. It just takes a long time, and I don't want to burn myself out, so I've been slowing down a little bit.
Batch painting, I have such a like love-hate relationship with, where it's like sometimes it works fucking awesome, and then like sometimes, like you said, it's just like, oh, cool, man.
Yeah,
I fucked this up.
Well, like with my Empire, it was really easy and it was fine because it was just like monotonous. Like,
yeah,
okay, I'm kind of doing the same thing on every guy, but with this, it's like truly every guy is so different because I'm only using like pretty much all Kev Adams sculpts, and each model is completely different from the next one.
Yeah.
I think that is the only reason it ever works for me.
Yeah.
Where if it's like the Tyranids, where it's like they're the same sculpt.
Yes.
You're like, fuck this.
Didn't I just do this?
Yeah.
500 times?
Yeah.
Well, that's why, like, even doing my Empire army, every guy's the same. Like, they're all monopose, fucking whatever edition Empire. But because I painted, like, kind of randomly, like, okay, this guy's sleeve is red, and on the next guy it might be yellow, and the next guy it might be white. That broke it up enough that it didn't get boring or like oh man, this really sucks.
Yeah.
But it's been cool. The dwarves have been fun to paint. I've been building them so that I can play them with regiments, but I added unit fillers so that I could play them with Old World, which brings me to, I bought this book.
Yay.
Well, no, I'm returning it and I'm not playing this stupid fucking game.
Okay.
So I bought the Arcane Journal for the Dwarven Mountain Holds, and I guess it's my fault because I just assumed that this was the army book.
No.
Oh, you mean the book that says the army faction's name on it?
No, it's an arcane journal.
Well,
The fuck does that mean?
don't the orcs and goblins have a book?
Yeah. It's an arcane journal.
Yeah, this doesn't have like any of the units in it.
No, it's not in the goblin one either.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's a useless book.
Well, what is in it?
There's some special like types of armies that you can play. There's special heroes. There's some lore and like some magic items.
Yeah.
But I wanted it so I could like look at the army and like understand the game
and have the book to play the game.
This doesn't do any of that.
You need the core book.
Yeah. Well, I've come to find that out, and now I'm just like, oh, I don't care now.
Yeah.
And also the book came like beat up, so I was a little annoyed by that.
I mean, you need to just slap it on the table.
Well, it was slapped up before I got it, so yeah, I don't know. I built the army with intent to, I can play whatever game with this army because each unit will have plenty of guys in it because I'm building the unit fillers of like the mountain, like the back row will be a mountain or like random things, and it'll be like tall standing like stone pieces or whatever. It's been cool.
It looks great. Your paint jobs are like fucking awesome, as I told you before. But
thank you.
Yeah,
working hard.
Awesome.
Working very hard on it. What else have I been working on? I've been working on a new game, which I don't want to say a ton about, but it is a new like solo type of game. Like you can play by yourself, but you'll also be able to play with other people. Shane's been helping me with it, and I brought it to the playtest night that we did on Thursday with Brian and Ben and Shane, and it like hammered out a lot of unknowns and stuff I was like kicking around in my head and like getting the rules sorted out. And Shane's been sending me notes on stuff that like, because I sent him the original document file, and he's been like losing his mind over it because the source material is like really up his alley. And I don't want to say too much because it's like, I don't want to jinx it. Like jinx my level of investment right now, but I am excited for it. And when it gets in a more playable spot, I would like to maybe put it up for people to try it or something.
Yeah, totally. You got it. Yeah.
I think I've been playing a lot of Alan Wake 2 on my computer.
Is this a spooky game? Alan Wake 2? Flashlight game?
It is the flashlight game.
All right.
It is the flashlight.
You know what I'm fucking talking about?
Yes,
I never even played Alan Wake, and all I know is a flashlight game. Right?
It's awesome. Looking at getting some like, I was talking to you about like some music, like some sample pad equipment and stuff like that because we were jamming the other night at the house, like Brian, me, and Paul.
You know what? This would be funny. Listeners who are musically inclined, chime in. We were talking samplers, like specifically like kind of analog samplers. I have a SP404, the SX version of it, and then Steve and I were looking at samplers, and it looks like the newest SB404, I think it's the Mark II,
Yeah.
looks very sick.
It looks awesome.
Musically inclined people who have any interest in like sampling stuff and whatever, like chime in and see maybe there's something even better out there that
I would love to know.
Send you direction down.
Yeah, I'm just looking to have a little fun
Oh,
making tunes.
Hitting buttons, dude. Real squishy buttons. They feel good to press.
Love hitting a button.
Oh.
Hitting a button, it makes a noise. We can bring that back to the pod.
Steve, don't get me all riled up here. Tease me like that, Steve.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything else I've been doing. That's been the dwarves take an exceptional amount of time, so
they'll be worth it though.
Yeah,
they'll be worth it because they look so good.
Well, and we've been doing Under the Dice Fest planning.
Yes,
that's been occurring. Putting up signups for everyone. So if you want to run a game at Under the Dice Fest,
the
signups are, you can find it right on the website.
Yeah.
Probably have not much time after this goes live.
No, probably not. I would love for us to get together and comb through that list. Yeah. Get the vendors sorted. There's opening for vendors, but we kind of have to hand pick everything for it.
Yeah.
But definitely send in your little submission if you want to be involved.
Yeah. Pull your head out of the sand, people, and get on the interwebs.
Get on it. Send us
a message.
And I also put up the submission form for Under the Dice 8, trying to just get ahead of it now. So and I'm gonna have like a cutoff for August so that I can like churn everything out and get it all done.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
See,
that's it.
Well, that leads us then to the main topic. Woo! Well, listeners, this is the moment you've been waiting for. You've been biding your time, waiting for us to talk about Brothers of Promethium 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Thank you. Yes, Brothers of Promethium 2, which happened at Adepticon in Milwaukee, what feels like 2 years ago at this point.
Seriously.
It was hard for me to kind of recall all of the things that had happened in the planning stages and the before stages, and honestly, even the day of, although that's a little bit easier to remember.
Yeah. Do we have like specific questions?
I mean, there's a lot of questions.
I would say we have a lot of specific questions, but we can go over that after. Most of the people want to know that would be getting questions before I put up the questions was just talking about it, prep, the event, how did it go? Because we closed the doors, not a lot of people were allowed in, and the people that did come in, they just did not read our sign and walked right in anyway. But yeah, so people will just really want to know what we did to prep for it and how it was. Because the last one we put up publicly the same day we ran the event.
Yeah.
This one we did not because we were busy.
Yes. Well, the concept of it came months before Adepticon, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think we were just like batting around the idea of other post-apocalyptic media.
Yep.
We were literally just talking about Waterworld.
Yeah. And it was like, what if we just did Waterworld?
Yeah. It was
explore
the Oasis. How do we explore more of the world? Yep. What if the Oases were just all Promethium fields? What if it was just Promethium, unrefined Promethium water?
Yeah, there's just like a giant sea of it.
I think the thing that got me really excited was the idea of like smoker jet bikes on the water. And I don't think I saw a single person build one.
Well,
no.
which upset me a little bit.
I mean, there are some insano boats, though.
Oh, yeah. I had one of the best ones in my corner.
There's Isaac Boat.
Isaac Boat?
They call them Isaac Boats.
Do we have one of the packets around here somewhere?
It's on the table.
We've got a whole bunch
next to the John Blanche paint sets.
Why do we have so many?
Well, we were all setting up, and I was like, okay, now we got to get the players this information. I remember seeing 2 in the back of the van, and then we were looking for them everywhere. And then Gage remembered that we left them at the studio.
There's one on the table right here, folded.
So this giant, really nicely printed Brothers of Promethium handouts that were for the event were just left at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually happens.
All right. So we sent out invites to people, and we said, we want you to make a post-apocalyptic guy. We limited the factions from OPR, Grimdark Future, Star Quest.
Yeah, they needed to be like human ones.
Yeah, we were like, no
Tyranids.
No
orcs.
chaos, no...
Yeah, it could not be Xenos stuff.
Yeah.
But I think even Eldar we were cool with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like humanoid.
Yeah. Just like stuff that would make sense to be working together. Like an orc isn't going to be like, hey, what are you guys doing over here? You know what I mean? So you couldn't play that. Plus, obviously, orcs became a big part of the event itself.
So the thing was, it was a invite-only event because, A, we have too many friends now, and we wanted to curate an event where we could use Adepticon as an excuse to see friends that are like one-time-a-year people, or people that are from a different country, and we want to hang out with them. It was never meant to exclude anyone or make anyone butthurt that they weren't invited, etc.
Well, no one should ever feel bad that they didn't get invited to an exclusive event.
It's like D&D, you know? It's like you can't invite 30 people to
No.
D&D every time.
We know from experience it works better when you limit people.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
like we started the whole thing by making a hard cutoff number.
Yes. And then we went over it a little bit.
Yeah.
By 2, and then a person dropped, and then
so figuring it was going to...
Yeah, we were fine. So that being said, we said make a guy, and then make a vehicle that can traverse the oil wastes of Promethium. And we didn't really give them much beyond that. There's a vehicle profile that Steve and I kind of slapped together.
Kind of based off the first Bro Pro pack.
Yeah, the Fastlands thing we did, and it was just this is it. Here you go.
No, I'm looking at this and thinking about how we said we were going to use Fastlands, and then we just didn't use that because I don't remember why we didn't use it in the day of.
We did use them. Blurs had to cut all of the templates out on cardboard.
Oh yeah, we did. We like made fake templates. Yeah,
which was cool. We just like made whatever we could.
Yeah.
As templates.
I think it was awesome that I got all those acrylic ones made for us, and they were left here.
Yes,
that was really cool.
Along
too.
with these awesome packets.
Yeah.
But it's as far as setting up for the event, we had the idea originally to split this board up into 4 things.
Yeah.
So we were like, it's going to be an oil ocean.
Yep.
We didn't really know what the ocean part of it was going to be, but we knew that the board itself was going to split up into 4 quadrants.
It's going to be a big canvas. It was going to be a tarp.
Yep.
At one point, we were going to have it cut in the middle, so we could, as GMs, we could go through the middle and kind of move boats from each quadrant.
Yep. Then they were going to like jump across like Pac-Man, like boop boop,
right?
Kind of appear over here.
Because from the first Bro Pro, which the packet is on the Patreon for free. If you're not a Patreon member, it does not matter. The third scenario was a giant free-for-all with all of our friends, where we were kind of all GMing at the same time, and it worked for that event, but we wanted something more official.
Yeah.
It was also, I feel like it was easier with, like the setup that we had made it easier to GM, because it was like...
At the first one?
Yeah, because it... Like, when you have a giant board like that, you have to control and wrangle the players.
Yeah.
It can't just be like everyone's doing their own thing.
And for newer listeners, the end scenario of the first Brothers of Promethium is a giant crash Space Hulk. And it was on a 6x8 board, or 4x8 board. That was like 2 feet tall. It was a big, huge, like, multi-level board that people could move around on and manipulate. So having multiple GMs at one table was easier.
Yes.
But this time we had... we changed size a lot, and then the day of, we kind of just had to make do with what the tables were.
Which it worked fine.
It worked fine,
perfect.
yeah. Well, originally, it was going to be a 10 by 12, I think. Or it was 8 by 10.
It's literally lined out right
We
here.
still haven't taken the tape off the floor in the studio, but
it ended up being like a 10 by 10 or like an 8 by 8 maybe?
I think it had to be 8 by 8 because I could still reach the middle of the table. And do stuff.
Okay.
And we each had our own quadrant. We each had a 4x4 minimum.
Yep.
that we all made little stories for and a physical board for on each. So what was yours?
So mine was an oil rig on the oil ocean. So it's kind of just this like 2-layer platform that I had mentioned this in a previous episode. I tried to make this as modular as heck. You know, you could pull off all the legs, even though it was a pain in the ass, and you could disassemble it to it's pretty flat. And then you could kind of put it back together, and so it just sort of sat there. It was on sort of stilty legs. There was ladders that would come up the side, and then there was ladders that kind of led up into an upper platform where like the managers or like the foreman's office was. And then off of the side, there was this giant crane that you could like lower or raise to pull stuff in, and you could like kind of turn the thing
physically
around.
Lower or raise. You actually made a mechanism that could spin.
Yeah, and we were using it in the game. So like there's a hook attached to it, so you'd go down, and we were always picking up models with the hook and craning them up and turning them. You know, it was a little cumbersome, kind of clunky, didn't really work exactly smoothly, but I thought it was an interesting kind of like piece to the game.
It also looked
itself.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice. I liked the way it came out at the end.
I think if you look at the board, like if you kind of made the same thing that either Steve or I made, I don't think it would have had the same effect at the whole table. I think yours really sold what it was. Like the whole, all 4 of our boards together. You know what I mean? I think yours truly sold it as like an oil ocean.
Yeah.
Steve, what was your board?
I had a crashed spaceship like on a small piece of land that, you know, I ideally had this.
You were Space Hulk pilled.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah, so I built like an interior of a spaceship, multi-level, like little island, spaceship crashed on it, and there was a bunch of parts, and these like the brothers of Promethium, the Space Marine, quote unquote, faction, they made this into a makeshift camp/vendor market area, like people trading, and I really thought like not Judge Dredd, Demolition Man lower level area. Like that was what was in my head when I was putting it together. So there were like a bunch of NPCs on the island they could go up to and interact with, and different missions, different jobs. But yeah, it was crash spaceship, kind of communal hub for humanoid people to be hanging out in.
Blur's had a giant
catamaran,
giant barge, just like scrap bullshit all put together. It was truly insane.
Yes, it was.
Huge moving barge. Grots were all over it. And then I had an island in an oil tank. Giant, I don't even know what you would call that.
Oil tanker?
Yeah, just like a big, I ended up using like a 5-gallon water jug for it on the side. And you could pull the top of the island off so you could see the inside of this, like, it was supposed to be like just this like science facility that clearly has been like just a makeshift where like people have been sleeping for X amount of years, etc. But we all had quests on our different islands.
Yep.
And the goal was players could move from board to board just doing quests. And the overall story we had was a bomb needed to be assembled in the first scenario to help with the second scenario because they had to...
Their main mission was to kill the orc war boss that dominated the ocean.
Yeah. What was his name?
Something barrel burner. Warcrack barrel burner.
Warcrack barrel burner.
That should be it.
Yep.
Warcrack barrel burner.
So all we told the players, which... I mean, we really didn't... Dylan really... So we brought Void Halation Dylan out. I mean, he was going. It's not like we brought him out. But the lighting rig that he had was over the board, and he had lights kind of bouncing off the ceiling to really set the mood for players. When they entered the room, they entered a dark room. They could just hear Daniel Mensch in the background. Just this like ambient noise. And then Terry started reading the intro. To the players, and then right at the last second, where was the text? I forgot the cue that we said.
So it's not in here. I had to like make it up on the spot, but it
I think
was
you
like,
said welcome to Promethium.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. I told Dylan, I was like, as soon as I say welcome to Promethium, you raise the lights.
Yeah.
So it's dark when they walk in.
A gradient.
And I said something like, you have been contacted by the Hive Scum Council to eliminate the Warlord Warcrack Barrel Burner. Those of you who take down this menace will be given transport off of the planet. Welcome to Promethium. And then
Right. And just by chance at that same time the sound happened to go like ascending as well.
it always happens that way.
Fucking sick. And then lights come up and everyone was just like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
So then we had the little packets. Everyone got I went to fucking Kinko's or whatever beforehand.
Fought with some 16-year-old
oh my
guy
God.
who didn't give a shit about you.
I don't want to tell that story. getting angry just thinking about it. But so we reprinted these little things that we forgot here. Made little in the corners. I just wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the different ones. And then I said, okay, everyone grab a packet.
Very smart.
Whoever has 1, all the 1s. Go on Steve's board. All the 2s, go on Terry's board. All the 3s, go to my board. All the 4s, go to Blur's board.
Yep.
We said, okay, you're with your GM now. Everything you do is through that GM. He will have his own way of doing it. And I know for a fact we all did it differently.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For sure. And we said that was really it for that scenario. That was it. Just figure it out. There's quests on everyone's boards.
The GMing part was great because we had never talked about like, okay, how are we going to play the game?
Right.
It was just like, yep, I'm over here. And like with my board, it was 4 people and they were mostly working together pretty much until Isaac shot the shot over on this side of the board that tried to take down Jay's giant floating blimp. It was like they had bribed the foreman with a bar of chocolate because he was just like, chocolate? Oh, you got chocolate. Okay, well, I'll do anything you want. I'll tell you where this thing is, whatever. And it was like they were going to work together. They were going to get the coordinates, and then all of a sudden shots just started being fired. And it was just like, no, we had this thing. And it was all role-playing until then. And then it was like, okay, I guess we got to look at the ruals.
Yeah.
See this next step.
Yeah, my board was they were all working together essentially until J3
always J3
decided.
It's always J3.
J3 just started really strong arming Adam Bass into a friendship, and
love that.
And then when it wasn't really beneficial, he kind of turned on him. I heard Blur's board so Blur's had quests where you could, for information or for a bomb piece, I think, you could race the grots on his board. They are on little rocket-powered surfboards.
They were so cool.
And if you raced a grot, they would join your party. And then Blur's physically gave you the model to keep. He said, this grot has joined your party. He's with you for the rest of the game. Also keep that model.
He had a real Tony Hawk's American Wasteland kind of you're just cruising around over here, and then she's like, hey,
yeah,
hey, hey, over here, hey, and it's just you gotta help me out. I've lost my spray cans, and it's just
much.
Okay. That was Blur's board, and I was like, damn, I should have thought like that when I was making my thing. I could have done so many weird little things over here.
It was cool though.
Oh, it's awesome.
Unfortunately for everyone else, my board's quests were directly. The main quest hub for mine was a guy with a Valkyrie ship who was offering transport to the next mission, where you would come in on the Valkyrie, he would just drop you off wherever.
Did you tell them it was for the next mission?
I told them that he would provide you transport to the big boss. He's like, yeah, I know where that guy is. You do this job for me. You take care of this guy. I'll get you there.
Right.
And he's standing next to the Valkyrie. Everyone's like, yeah, I want to get on that thing. Well, not everyone, but they were all getting, they all interacted with the same guy, and they all picked up a bounty. Mm-hmm. So I had little cards that I had everyone, hey, everyone, send a picture of your guy.
Yeah, just send one in.
Yeah. And
why not?
I took the pictures that they took and made them all into wanted posters. Mm-hmm. And then I had a big deck of them, and I just shuffled them
remember
up.
you going around the studio like a couple days before we left for Adepticon, just giggling at taking pictures of random things as like MacGuffins for wanted things.
Yeah.
Like one of them was the picture of the Bio-Titan I had. This is wanted if you find it.
Yeah.
Like,
Love that.
The grots, Isaac, I believe, got the grot fishermen.
Yeah.
That were in the middle, that were made by Sterling.
Sterling made 3 grot fishermen with little floaties on and a boat.
And then I was role playing them, just like laughing at everybody. Every time anybody asked them a question, they would just laugh to each other, be like, "Did you hear this guy?" Ah! And they were just like the 2 old dudes in the Muppets, like standing up in the balcony. And you believe he would ask for fish? 2 fishermen! Ah! Just laughing, and then of course they could just get exploded.
Yeah, the heavy boulder just rained down and destroyed them in the middle of the ocean.
I hope they were laughing the whole time that happened.
It was funny though, because there was other like missions occurring, and they only interacted with like one other one, and it was like this giant bar fight that breaks out, and they interacted with it. It starts, and I just kept it going, like, regardless of where they all ended up.
Yeah.
They immediately leave the room because they're like, I don't want to be in here.
Yeah, this sucks.
They hear the gunfire and all this stuff going on, and they poke their head back in, and there's, like, a bunch of dead guys on the ground. And they're like, okay, we're leaving.
Party's over.
The quests I had in mind for mine were to just activate the fuel pump on the big barge, and I had a little shark fin for my Bio-Titan. I found a Bio-Titan STL, which, listeners, you can figure it out yourself. And so I had a little shark fin once they activated the thing, and they're like, "Oh, that's funny. Like it's a little Tyrannid in the water." TJ instantly, I shoot it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then instantly I put down the Bio-Titan, and he goes, "Fuck." He was like, "I should not have done that." And I put
TJ's the best. Fucking the best.
Now, something that I don't even think I told you guys, I've been GMing games a long time in my life. For some reason I did not have the foresight. I put stats for if they exploded this oil drum, this giant refined oil drum, how much damage it would do within a 10-inch radius. And also gave stats to the Bio-Titan, not checking the math on if that explosion happened next to the Bio-Titan, what would happen. So the Bio-Titan spawned, it moved one thing, and then Teacher's like, I blow up this whole fucking thing. And I was like,
hell yeah.
He drops a grenade in the refined.
Hell yes.
And I was like, all right, you got to roll 6 to get it in there, because he like kind of slam dunked it. Rolls a 6. And I'm like, okay, well, let's see what if it can do it. I forgot what the parameters I gave, but like I had 3 checks, and he rolled a 6. I think he rolled 3 6s in a row, and I was like, well, who the fuck am I to take this away from this guy?
Yeah.
And he like, it was to jump off it as well, so he doesn't
didn't
yeah,
die.
Yeah. Like straight out of an action movie, drops the grenade in, is just running, and then jumps off it.
Yes.
Blows the thing up, blows the Bio-Titan up, and I was just like, well, that was cool. Really glad I painted that model for 7 minutes of gameplay with it.
Worth it.
While that's happening, the Gene Stealer cult inside the facility, they're freaking out because J3 kind of threatened them. And then I had a little piece of grate that like popped out so you could see that the floor, like Tyranids are now pouring out of the ground essentially of the bottom of this facility. And then Jay and Adam are just running off the dock to get onto their boats as the Tyranids are just like jumping at them and falling in the oil, trying to jump on their boats.
Was that before or after Mike started shooting at?
So Mike comes over right when they get into their boats.
Okay.
And they start going off. And then Mike comes over and he said he has visions of a betrayal, but it was visions from the betrayal from the night before in your Space Hulk game.
That's so funny.
He's like, yeah, I remember this guy from a nightmare I had, and he's just like, and I start firing. And I was like,
which is so funny because like he comes because I gave him the bounty.
yeah,
Like he got Jay's the bounty.
yeah,
And the way he did it was very cool, and I'll get into it after, but he comes over, he's like, can I shoot Jay right now? I want to shoot his boat and blow it up while he's not in it. And I was like, yeah, go do it.
Yeah.
And then I think he just didn't want to interrupt what you guys were doing. And then they got in the boat. He's like, fuck.
He came over to me and he goes, just so you know, I'm on your board in one turn. And I went, okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So Which is also another thing. We didn't really like express that to players. We just said once you leave like the 4x4, you're the other GM's responsibility.
Yeah. So people are just like coming up to us, being like, "Yeah, I'm over here now. Just so you know, you see me, I'm popping over in your corner." And I'll be like, "Okay."
Yeah, and I think that worked great.
Well, at a certain point, it was just like, it was like 3 or 4 like kind of role playing turns. Some stuff happened, and at a certain point, I was just like, "Yeah, you 3 are on Jay's floating blimp, so you 3 talk to Jay. I'm gonna go over here and help these guys out."
Yes.
Because it was just like, they could just play on their own.
Right.
If you want to shoot this guy, then it's wargaming. If you want to role play, then it's just role play among yourselves.
Yeah.
I don't need to be there to tell you that this happens or doesn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I think everyone was kind of trying to figure that out because they were all looking. They're like, "So now what?" And I'm like, "I don't know. What do you want to do?
What do you want?" Yeah.
They're like, "Well, so I can just do whatever I want."
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah.
Which is another thing we didn't. I mean, I think in the invite we like barely specified that it is a role-playing scenario. We just said narrative wargaming event.
Yeah.
We did not say it was a role-play event. And then when we showed up, it was like, no, this is role-play first.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit past
I think 4 people that I had over there immediately got it.
Yeah.
And like I said, I didn't have to baby hands them at all. Like past 3 turns where they're like, "Oh, this is how this game is." I was like, "Yeah, you guys just do over there. I'm going to go talk over there to make sure these guys are okay."
Yeah, I loved watching the gears. I watched it click in Adam's brain because this was like his first wargaming event, period.
Yeah.
And obviously World Champco, he's heavy RPG guy. And I think he had some, I don't want to say anxiety, but like he's coming into this being like, okay, I don't know the rules. I'm just kind of here because I know people, etc. And then you're coming in and it's like, no, this world. Yeah. It's with a physical guy.
Yes.
We just made a board for it.
It's basically Action Figure 28.
Well.
That's not a game.
And then
no, it's not.
We told people. I never told anyone in my board that there was a second scenario.
I mean, they all kind of knew because it was like,
well, yeah, because that's the thing. Everyone on my board was like, "Where is Warcrack? We got to find out." Like, nothing on this board has helped us find this guy.
Yeah. Well, we did explain. No, we definitely told them because we told them at the beginning, like, what you do here is to build up your guy to get stuff for the next mission.
Yeah.
We definitely told everyone.
Because there were 3 players on my board that were like, "Wait, there's another scenario? That's so sick." And I was like, "Well, yeah." So once Shane gathered all 3 of the bomb pieces from different boards.
Yep.
And then the Grot Revolution was like, "Okay, you're going to go plant that bomb. The Grots from Blur's board are going to drive this barge into the next scenario." And then we kind of had a little intermission. And then we set up the big orc fortress.
Yes. Yeah. Which Blur's, and because like I made my little quadrant at home.
Yep.
Most of you guys made yours here.
Yep.
Along with Blur's,
Yep.
who is, you guys and Blur's were doing a lot of the heavy lifting on not only your boards, but then also the fortress itself.
Yes.
Yeah, we built a lot of those walls.
Yeah. So another thing, because I know when we originally talked about it, it was like how much we have to use like 100% crap.
Yes.
For like what we're doing. And we did some resin pours of like sneaky, cheeky recasting of
Mostly
stuff.
for floors.
Mostly for floors.
I used a lot of cardboard and chipboard.
But everything
Yeah,
we used was like chewy boxes and like garbage, true garbage. Everything on Blur's board was garbage he found here or at home. And it was like, because someone saw me the night after Bro Pro, later that night, because we had the flea market right after, or the dynamite swap night. And I went up to the Bits Bazaar, and a guy that wasn't in the event was like, "Yo, I just saw all those boards." He was like, "How much did all that cost?" Just like curiosity. And I was like, honestly, dude, the $30 in paint.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, like,
Yeah, you could source just about everything from like the trash.
every single thing we used was garbage. And it was like, yeah, the lighting from Dylan does a lot of heavy lifting.
Yes.
A giant red bulb makes all your stuff look better.
You barely have to paint anything.
Yeah. And I mean, we were even stressing about the boards to a certain extent, but it was like, realistically, when you have that kind of lighting, you just need your highlights to pop.
Yeah.
And then, that second scenario was all the numbers that were assigned in the beginning when you got your packet was how we did the initiative order, just like Pro 1.
Yeah.
All 1s go. Okay, you're all done. Take a step back. All 2s go.
Yep. And then we would have all of the orcs kind of move around on the board.
NPCs would go at the same at the end, yeah.
And the board itself was this big pit, essentially. It was walls surrounding this like area that was probably roughly 4x6.
Yes, yeah.
Something like that.
Somewhere along the line with the gate, we lost about 6 inches. I still don't know how that happened, but whatever. So it was roughly 4x6.
Yeah. And then, they were all inside this fortress. And then during the scenario itself, things would happen to the wall.
Yep.
I think one wall blew up, right?
Yep. Shane planted the bomb on one wall. It blew up, and then Blur's barge from the first game got placed on the board, and grot started just piling out.
Yeah. So this grot revolution was happening.
Yeah.
So they're kicking the orcs' ass.
Yep.
The players are beating up the orcs.
Yep. And each other.
There's a Valkyrie that flew in.
Yeah, they did. I don't remember what happened, but someone on the plane tried to strong arm the pilot for some reason. It was like, I'm taking over the plane. And I was like, all right, I guess.
Yeah.
I think they shot the pilot. I was like, all right, we're going to roll to see what happens.
Yeah.
And then we rolled. And it was like, all right, you guys crash. Actually.
Yeah, it was a 1. And you're like, great.
Yeah. So they crash landed. And then the guys on the plane kind of worked together.
Yeah.
It was
But it was kind of chaos, too.
Yes. There's Mike, Dan, Trent, Nate. I think that's it. I don't think Isaac took the Valkyrie with them.
No, because Isaac later on had his boat come around the other side, and the lore behind his too. He was like, my boat is like the core chassis of like a dreadnought, so the boat can drive itself. He's like, is that okay? I said, fuck yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
I feel like there was someone else in the Valkyrie. Maybe Mike. Might have been Mike. Crikey Mike.
Yeah. Oh, Gas Sands Mike, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody was like running around this place, either trying to get into it. There was orcs everywhere. Asmodeus, I think, which was Nate Dungeon's character, was just like...
Which he's played, I think he said, in like 5 narrative events at this point. I'm like, that's so sick.
He was just doing a kill count on... It was like straight up Lord of the Rings, just a kill count on like just slicing orcs in half as he moved across the top of one of these wall sections.
Putting notches in his sword.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, which is another thing like you were saying about your Inquisitor warband. That's so sick to be like, here's the ongoing canon of this model.
Yeah. He's been here, and now he's here.
Yeah. And then coming up with a narrative reason why it's been to different events, you know?
Yeah, and then it was like, I loved watching Nate Dungeon play because he's just like, I want to take as many orc heads as I can.
Yeah.
And then like people would be like shooting across, and then they would kill an orc that was close to him, and he'd be like, that was my fucking kill.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They were just like yelling at this other player for killing the orcs in front of him.
Yeah.
And then after a while, Warcrack Barrel Burner just like comes out like it's just like, what the hell is going on here? You know, and I modeled him up to be out of this like privateer press, some fucking weird privateer press figure,
giant
that I sliced in half. I used I used the top half of one of his big smasher arm, but then the other half of him was from a Gazcool model.
Mm-hmm.
And the legs were also, I think, from the Gazcool model. So he had one like flame, or he had one like what was like the machine gun arm on Gazcool, I turned to a flamer arm just like by like cutting and doing whatever. And then his head was I think just like a welder's mask. I'm like blanking on it. Yeah, it was a big fucking welder's mask. And so then he comes out and he's just like covered. He has a flamethrower like coming over the top of his head too.
Yeah.
And he has like smaller flamers there. So we had given him rules to have a long range flamer that was weaker, and then like a heavy front range one, like a short range one that could do a lot of damage.
He was doing damage.
Yeah, and he was just like, you know,
he killed Whitty's model.
He killed Whitty's. I think he like stepped on her and ripped her in half or something like that, or picked her up and threw her. He also had like a throwing because he had his big hand too, so he could like throw things. So he was doing some of that, throwing things around. I think at one point he like tore down one of the towers or something like that.
Yep.
There was a lot going on.
And then Tinker Train Jay. Shane jumps off of a tower with a lit cigarette to Tinker Train Jay's helium balloon.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Lights it on fire. Jay knows what's happening, so he crashes his...
Not into Warcrack, but into... like J3 or something.
Yeah, I forgot who it was.
And I was like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, and he was just like... He's like, I'm going for that guy.
Yeah,
and I was just like, oh.
Yeah, you did it.
He like crashed it into the guy.
Well, didn't it blow up like the refinery that was in there?
Yes.
Yes, that was part of it. And then he crashed into somebody, and I think they lived by like just barely.
Yeah, they like
Jay
died
or
something. Yeah,
but whoever this was, they like barely lived.
No,
and, like,
Jay didn't
die.
die.
The wreckage. Oh no, he jumped off.
Yeah. Because at the end of the scenario, so someone kills Warcrack.
Yep.
Gets the head and is going down the way. They die. Maybe it was Nate? Tony Block? Someone had the head. They go down. Adam Vass grabs the head.
Yep.
And we said whoever grabs the head and gets off the board is like the winner of the whole day because they go to the indomitable, sexy, handsome hive scum and they get away off the planet. Which...
Yeah, of course.
Not really.
You
but,
know how it works with the high scum guys.
Yeah. So I think at the end he's the giant orc gate that Blur's modeled with the huge orc face that actually the jaw opened and closed.
That was my favorite part.
Yes. Yeah. So sick.
Which we kept. That's like the one piece we kept. Adam's barreling down the front, and then I think Jay tried to like get in his way and just like anime style like chop it.
Yeah.
And then like misses, and then like Adam makes or hits, but like Adam makes a save or something. It was like came down to one roll essentially.
Yeah, both scenarios came down to one roll.
Yeah, and then he makes it and just barrels off the board, and everyone was like, "Dude's first war game," and he wins the whole event.
I know, right?
So sick.
Which was great too because I hadn't met the guy, and so I didn't really know who he was, and so there's just this guy playing, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool, this guy's playing." And then when he won, I was like, "Oh, dude, yeah, this is awesome that he won that."
And I know we've said it before, and we talk about it every time we do a big game, but like, what's so sick about these bigger games is that everyone has their own little story that even we don't know. So like, I'm sure Adam had some skirmishes that we didn't when he went to your board in the first scenario. Like, it's like all these little things is a different canon for each of these characters. So I think that's really what makes it for me.
Yeah, I mean, and then like we couldn't do this whole thing without like Dylan, who we've thanked extensively for lighting and making sure that production and kind of polished AF happened, and then Blurs, with just straight up build knowledge,
and Kate,
and Kate, Blurs and Kate for straight up build knowledge, and I remember popping in here one day and they were just like cranking at like a giant board, just like putting it together so quickly. Where I was just like, I don't know how you guys have the freaking brain for this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's texture. Texture just does so much work, and Blurs is the master at seeing that. Dude, he had these like VHS, like they're not really like holders, like the clamshell enclosures. They were, or maybe they were, but they were like the thin body ones or something.
Yeah.
And he's gluing to these boards. And I was like, Blurs, that looks like shit, bro. Like, maybe you're losing touch. I don't know. And he's just like, you don't get it, dude. You don't get it. And sure enough, he like just textures it just the right way, and then like kind of accents it a little bit with some more plastic card on the side. And I was like, I'm a fucking loser. You're right.
It's greebling a giant thing with a bunch of small things.
Truly.
It's like that's why Isaac models look good.
Yes.
Because I don't think it's just texture. Like texture
hides a lot of the open area for sure. But yeah, you're right.
But you could do the same thing with like a simple metal plating, and that goes like Because it tells a story. Texture doesn't tell a story. Like throwing sand and baking soda all over your thing doesn't tell a story.
Yeah,
but like
rusty
putting a bunch of little panels and little greebles and little things, that tells a story.
Right. Yeah. Terry's board, you had made a bunch of metal plating, just card. Your whole board was just card.
Yeah, it was all using just recycling bin, like, cereal box card.
Right. And I remember you were like, texture this, but don't go crazy. So I'm like lightly texturing the whole thing. And same thing, I'm like, this will look good, but I don't know. But sure enough, you prime it, you started dry brushing the edges on it. I was like, oh, this is fucking perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah. We did get a lot of questions.
And honestly, the questions were really, really good. So, and a lot of them were pretty similar.
Yes. I'm going to go to the top.
Yeah, man, get some beefy ones for us. Oh, wait. But you have to do the... Wait. Which number are you? You're 3.
I'm 3. This is questions from the Hive for BroPro 2.
Great work.
So, July asks, if you had to run a narrative event, but for a much larger crowd, how would you change things?
I wouldn't want to do that.
I know. That sounds really... coming off of BroPro 1 when it was like a lot of people.
We invited 20 people and we had
30...
36, I think it was.
Like scary overwhelming because it was just too many people.
I will say, doing that event, like doing BroPro, if Dylan wasn't doing the lights, I wouldn't want to do it. If it wasn't like the thematic experience that it was, I probably wouldn't care to do a second one.
I think I agree.
Because it's like, I can just play a game with my friend instead.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like it's the same thing as like D&D, right? It's like your sweet spot is whatever you're comfortable with, obviously. But like, I think everyone can unanimously agree that like 5 to 7 to 8 players is like probably your max as a person that can handle these different interactions.
Yes.
Because we had 4 people on a board, it ended up being like 4.
It was digestible.
Yeah, It was very digestible. I do think there is something sick about like those mega like wars that like D&D does and like Pathfinder would do, where like each table has a GM and they're all part of a giant larger war.
Yeah.
So I think if you were to do BroPro 3 at like 100-person scale, I think you would need 25 GMs.
Yes. Right?
But like then you have so much wrangling to do, and it's like so much
I think if you did it in a way where like, because in the D&D ones, I don't know if you've ever played in any of those. The one I played in was like a giant Helm's Deep-esque type thing, and it was like you had very clear defined like goals of your group. And the one we were in was like you had to get to this one tower. You had to clear your way to this tower, and when you got there, you would raise a flag to say this side of the board is clear. And at the table, they physically like raised up a little flag.
Yeah.
And that would then signify to other tables like, oh shit, that
We're
quadrant
winning.
is good. And then the GM would come over and say, okay, now that you've cleared this, now your next goal is this.
Yeah.
So you had 3 GMs that were like overseeing the whole event, and they were then running over and telling the other GMs what should be happening.
Yeah.
But once again, it has to be digestible. That's the only way it would ever work.
Yeah.
And
I don't think I'd want to do that for this. Like for this world
but
or
it's
this
also
setting.
so much fucking labor, like in a sci-fi world where we'd have to make those boards for 100 people. That'd be crazy.
No, yeah. I mean, you would need a buy-in of a bigger group of people to make and play.
Which I'm sure the people would love to do that. I'm sure there's people out there who'd be like, oh, I'd love to make a board and I'd love to get involved in the next one. And it's like, that's a whole extra leg of that's doing Under the Dice Fest a second time.
Yeah.
I at this point I would say never. I think there's something cool logistically in my brain of like trying to make that work.
Me too, kind of. To have like a games day where it's just like, it's a Nemo sized thing, but it's all BroPro.
Yeah.
Be kind of wild.
That'd be kind of sick.
I mean, with BroPro 1, the first scenario was
just play a game.
You're playing a game.
You're playing a game, and
then
we were coming over
cool.
and just manipulating with whatever we could.
That's easy and digestible. Maybe not the amount of tables you'd have to set up and doing that, but like that's a lot easier to do. And then a final game where everyone's like, all right, bring your hero and we're going to do a big game.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing I think that would not scale with 100 people.
No.
100.
Well, you would have to do it with like 10 boards, and then you have to make 10 cool boards.
Yeah.
And it makes me think like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have thrown out the Space Hulk board and like, well, it got blown up at the end, so we weren't going back there anyway.
And I mean, we donated all of Bro Pro 2 terrain to locals at Adepticon.
And there's a lot of
we kept was yours.
There's a lot of Bro Pro 1 terrain kicking around at people's houses and stuff too. Like it's still out there.
Yeah, I would say never say never, but I think that's the only way it could work.
Yeah.
Elijah asks, for a narrative event that will need some GM involvement, what would you say the sweet spot for players is?
4. Size-wise?
Yeah.
4.
Yeah. Honestly, like for a war game,
2.
Well, me personally, if I'm GMing it, 5 and under. A follow-up, if a narrative game has a free-for-all element, what's the best way to handle each early player elimination? Did you have any early deaths on your guys' board?
No one died.
Really? Steven, Big Boy Game Time fell into the water in mine and just died.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so in the second scenario, because he also...
Oh, yeah, that's a good solution.
You let him come back?
I let him come back only because he broke the rules and made an undead orc model that had...
So yeah, listen. Hold on. I'm gonna say something, and I don't care if this makes any of my friends feel bad. When you're given a prompt to an event of what to build, and you just specifically build something else, it's not very nice. Shame.
It didn't bother me, but it very easily in the second scenario, I was like, "Well, you have an orc head. You're with the orcs now."
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
So, yeah. So to answer your question, Elijah, look at a physical element of the model and make them come back in some weird narrative way.
Yeah, or just like literally make them like an NPC, and it's like that's just you. You pretend it's a PC, but it's an NPC.
Or I mean, I guess the alternative is like the theater of the mind. Like, oh, as long as you're there to GM the situation, it's like, oh, you shoot him and he goes down, and you don't really know what happens to him.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I was like, oh, does any player want to pick him up? And they were like, no.
Fuck that guy.
All right, well, he's dead. So in the second scenario, I was going to be like, okay, you just get to play a squad of orcs. You just get to be...
And that's cool.
Yeah.
You're now on the bad guy team.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, well, your model looks like that. You just get to be a bad guy anyway. Knife Squid asks, where next for Brothers of Promethium?
I don't know.
The moon.
The moon of Promethium.
The moon of Promethium. I had an idea the other day that I was like, oh, that would be pretty cool.
We were joking about just what other post-apocalyptic movies we could do.
Postman. Just have Enzo come play.
Or Snowpiercer.
Yeah, on a train.
Oh, train?
But it's like Space Hulk, but it's on a moving train.
So you don't actually have to do anything with the... You're just playing only in a train?
It's just like a slot car. Yeah. You don't even get to touch your own model.
Cool, but yeah, I don't know. Something like that. Some weird
trains are cool.
Shit.
Yeah.
Whole Space Hulk would be cool.
Yeah.
Like doing an entire, like, oh, you're all in an underground facility, or you're on an orbiting Space Hulk.
Big Space Hulk.
Yeah. It'd be sick. Void Halation Dylan asks, what was the decision to return to a... let's just start that one over, huh? Void Halation Dylan asks, what... Jesus Christ. Dylan asks, was the decision to return to Promethium a difficult one? Or did you feel naturally that the setting had a lot of unexplored potential at the end of Bro Pro 1?
Dude, that shit is so broad. Brothers of Promethium is both literally a sandbox and actually a sandbox.
Yes. Yeah.
Or you know what I mean.
It's kind of the intent.
Yeah, I think the beauty of Terry's mind is that he would never paint such a specific region where you could not expand on it further, ever. I don't think you would ever be the style of GM or world builder where you're like, and the rivets are all angled at 45 degrees?
Because that's how they are, yeah. No. And it's like, you know, like we just were talking about like other movies that you could do there. You could do anything
right
on Promethium. If it requires sand and a dusty base,
that's it.
You could go there.
That's it.
And now it's like, well, actually, it also could be an oil ocean. So what else could possibly be on Promethium?
The Arctic North.
Yeah, underground. Maybe it's this entire like hollow Promethium thing
Hollow
where
Earth
like
with a
inside
jungle?
it's
Godzilla
frozen
and King
because Kong? Yes, exactly. It's frozen on the inside because of it doesn't get enough sunlight, but because of the way that the hole to enter the hollow Promethium is, it bounces around in there. They've rigged up a bunch of mirrors inside of it, giant mirrors that bounce this around on inside.
Gooey center. He also asks, if you were to release a supplement for the setting, would you cater it towards one rule system with additional aspects added in, or attempt to make it a full system agnostic?
It's always easier when you make something system agnostic and you just say, here's the parameters, play with whatever game you want.
I think the goal is still for us to release it as a thing of collected Bro Pro 1 and 2 as a little
but I think it would be rules light.
I think it's definitely going to be rules light. I think the beauty is that people can, it's kind of like what the Wires did with Vistarian. It's like, play whatever you want. Play it with mini gangs. Play it with Necromunda.
It's a story. It's a bolt-on story.
Yeah, so use it in truly whatever you want. I think that's where it would be the best.
Oh, totally.
I think that's also at the heart of Inc. 28 anyway.
Yes.
And I think Dylan's also being cheeky because he knew that already. Cameron asks, what are some crucial supplies for an event like this that people might not think of to prep and make it as successful as possible?
Lighting.
Yeah.
I think lighting sells your event so much more than you would imagine. I mean, I've been playing Vampire the Masquerade and just using candles for lighting instead of regular lighting. Just adds an instant level of verisimilitude that you're like, well, I'm in this world now.
I mean, there's a reason we talk about Johnny's board from that Adepticon so long ago is because it was lit from below.
Yes.
And the room was dark.
He made an infinity mirror underneath the board. And that with the little LED sold the whole thing for me.
The whole thing entirely changed the whole
trajectory of my life.
Exactly. Yep. There you go.
I would also say crucial supplies, bring the fucking packet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the templates. If you need templates.
And the templates.
And the templates. And the boat for Terry's board.
Yep.
The boat that I needed for my whole board. My whole reason that my board existed. But that's okay. We all worked it out.
That's okay. We all figured it out. Fenriz asks, is more than 4 players too many players? Obviously, this is heavily reliant on a particular group of players, but do you think there's a sweet spot for a number of players? 4. Per GM. Grave Sector Dave asks, if you had not made the warband you did for Bro Pro 1 or 2, what other warbands would you have liked to make instead?
Gene Stealer Colts.
Yeah?
Oh, dude, I think that Gene Stealer Colts are so fucking cool. I want to make... Or Eldar, some sick Eldar fucking thing.
Yeah.
Love that.
I would have liked to make orcs.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because I made that one... I ended up using orcs on Bro Pro 1. It was just I spent a week randomly, trying to think of something the last minute, and I made a knob on a bike, and I fully kit bashed it, and I was like, yeah, I'm just going to use this instead of making Space Marines.
Yeah.
Mad Max orcs. That's
I mean, that's the beauty of orcs, right? And that's why it's so sick of Bro Pro in general, is just Space Marines having to be Mad Max style.
With orcs running around.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go back to that.
What?
Just... That's going back to
Bro Pro 1.
We're going back to Bro Pro 1, but it's just Mad Max. Instead of getting off, it's just you live here.
Yeah. I mean, sick. For... wow, how long ago was this? Was it an Under the Dice contest?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. You're cannibal on a jet bike.
Yeah, it was...
That had to be 2022.
June 15th, 2022 is when I posted it. It was for...
The jet bike challenge.
Yeah. Was that Under the Dice?
Yeah.
So you had a jet bike challenge. I had who won that?
Oh, it's. I mean, you can read it in the magazine. There was a whole I did a whole There's a contest of who built the coolest bike, and someone built a crazy ass one with a giant robot, a Calamity robot on a jet bike.
Yeah, I remember that. But I think I would want to do, because I've done Gene Stealer Colts now both times. I think I would want to do Space Marines, but in a way that they're not necessarily chaos, but that cannibal guy I did, where they're almost turning into
real feral mode.
Yeah, they're just like, well, I have to eat this other space marine because I will die if I don't.
So sick.
They just become these like weird fucked up guys that are just like their skin is melting and all the weird.
Actually, I don't think that's how Space Marines work.
Yeah, exactly.
In my lore.
Yeah.
Not in my lore.
In my lore, they
turn into sick cannibals.
Dude,
and
they have to
eat other
suck
ones.
each other's gene seed.
Oh,
yeah.
Where do you think they'd suck that from?
I don't know. You guys can figure that one out. Failnot asks, if you had to build a template for an event like this, what elements would that template incorporate, from venue choice to narrative design? I
play with your friends at your house.
Yes, absolutely. Make your own board.
I mean, yeah, that's
have your friends over.
That's obvious.
That's like the.
I think
it depends on the scale you want to do, and then it's literally all by what you want to do.
Yeah,
yeah. I think what we've seen now is at multiple events, including the one in England, and I'm sure we'll get back and we'll get into that next episode. But there's been this like, you've got a guy or a squad, whatever, and then you're all in your individual things, and then the last scenario, everyone plays together. I think that's like been the going template now. I don't know if we started that or if that's just like been a thing or like.
I think that's kind of like it's the most fun.
I mean, yeah, I think that's the most fun. I think that's the only like real template
that's what I did for Flames of Orion when I did.
Yeah, exactly, the Unreal Tournament style thing.
Yeah, no, I mean even the end transmission. That's how end transmission goes every time.
Yeah.
It's like everyone plays together in the last part of it.
Right, and that's the thing. It's like to get as many players as you can on the table at the same time, but
it's not necessarily a good thing either.
Yeah, I was going to say it really depends on the system, the setting, game, etc.
Yeah, and players who's playing.
But yeah, from like venue choice, that's so dependent on scale.
Yeah, if you're asking my opinion on it, it's playing at home with your friends in a bespoke setting with your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think more importantly is making sure everyone has the same level of buy-in of the event you're running.
And is going to build to the prompt.
Yeah, it's cool if you're like, hey, I want everyone to make a boat. And if everyone that we invited all showed up and they made cars, you know what I mean? It would have just like...
Did anybody read?
It would have ruined the whole fucking event for us. Landline asks, what was your criteria for who you chose not to invite to BroPro 2 after they made such a good impression at BroPro 1? I think there was only one person on the list. I don't remember who. Yeah.
Did it start with a C?
No, I don't know. Will Von Dune asks, how is the cloning process of Dylan going? Did you resolve the additional limb issue? Can you fit the newer versions into smaller boxes? No.
We're still working on it.
We're still working on it.
Yeah, there's a lot more issues than just that, but we won't go into them now.
Yeah. Joe asks, is there a Sisters of Promethium?
No.
Didn't he play Sisters of Promethium at the first event? Tinker Train J asks, how did the concept for the event take shape over time? I'm curious about how you divided creative responsibilities. Were individual GMs essentially told, here's your stretch of ocean, build the terrain, and craft your own storyline? Or was this more created or coordinated, shared vision from the start?
Waterworld. Everyone do their own thing.
Yep.
Yeah, it was like a little bit of both. It was like, okay, here's Waterworld, but also everybody do their own thing.
I think we realized almost immediately the idea of 4 of us GMing and trying to stay coordinated on that was like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Unless you have someone going between all of us to be like, what's going on? What's going on? And with no rounds really occurring.
Yeah. Which then would slow it down to a grinding halt, essentially.
Yeah.
Having one player then manage 4 players who's then managing 4 players each.
Each zone being its own bubble is exactly how it could have worked.
Yep. We said there was going to be one main quest, and honestly, initially when we started this, there was a lot more. I had quests to go kill Blur's guys. I had my guys were like hard set against the Grot Revolution. I was like, we're going to just have this PvP on these 2 boards. Steve, I know, had wanted for all 3 boards. I was going to have a guy go and kill your main quest giver guy.
Oh, his guy was on my...
You know what I mean?
His guy was
like,
on mine.
It was truly like, we didn't actually really even care what each other was doing. And I think initially when we planned it, we were trying to fuck each other over with like... At least Steve and I were.
Yeah, I wanted reasons for not for you.
That wasn't nice.
Not about it wasn't about you. It was about
it was for me.
It was making the players engage in because in my head I was like they don't have any reason to fight each other.
Yes. Yeah.
And like go gather scrap and come back. It's like well that gets boring, and so I was trying to devise ways that would make the players fall into categories of like let's team up, let's fight them. And in my head, originally, when we first were talking about it, I had these insane ideas of like multiple islands with quests in them where you could like go explore a little bunker here, go there. And like the more it started coming down, it was like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Jay also asked, did the narrative drive the terrain building or did the terrain come first and inspire the story?
I kind of knew what I wanted to do.
I know we wanted a big fuck off orc fortress.
Yeah.
That was like... I think the Space Hulk you and Tyler did for 1, I said, we gotta do the same level. It's gotta be just as epic. And that was really like I think the only thing I was really pushing for. Other than that, I knew I wanted a Titan in the water, and that was truly all I wanted for my
narrative. Definitely drove the terrain building, though.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the story of the orc fortress was why we made the orc fortress kind of thing, you know.
Yeah. Did you come up with the oil rig first, or?
Well, the oil rig is because of the narrative. You know what I mean?
I think we kind of just were like, what do we make?
It's an oil ocean, so it needs an oil rig.
Yeah. And I was like, this would be fun to make.
And last is Ian. He says, Brothers of Promethium does imply there are parents. Where is Daddy Promethium?
In your mind.
In your mind. Or at stone.jaw on Instagram. Daddy Promethium.
That's... You're going to get some fucking perverts messaging.
Thanks for checking out this episode of Hive Strong. If you aren't already part of the community, check us out at the In Rust We Trust Discord, which you can find down in the description below. If you have questions you'd like to ask us, you can find our Instagrams down below as well. Or feel free to ask away on the Discord. We also have plenty of extra content and other perks available to our patrons on Patreon. So if you're interested in helping us keep doing what we're doing, then you can find that description below as well. Until next time, folks, keep it grimdark and keep it grimy. Peace.